All right, so what you see before here is an experiment, right? Research that's been going on for years, okay? And the goal is to get the most power, okay, for your devices like your cell phone, radios, everything takes power, 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 power. So I want the most power, but I want it to be the smallest and lightest. Make sense? So this thing I've had, I think it's literally 10 years old. It's a power bank, and it was by a company called OutXE. Still going, perfectly fine. I think they disappeared, but they're making silverware now, something. Anyway, so you've seen these things. It's got this solar panel that would take 20 years to get 1% charged, but they're very cool. Okay, it's got some little lights on the back. But with one of these fully charged, I know that I usually average like 3 full charges of an iPhone. Okay, so if you look on everything that goes into my kits, literally everything, it's an obsession, but I'll talk about it. You'll see why. Everything is marked with its weight. So this is 13 ounces, okay? 16 ounces is 1 pound. Then you come over here, and this one I've had for like 4 years, and this is these jump starters. You've seen these before? That's it. It's just you plug this in, and then this goes to the, positive and negative on a vehicle. You hit the button, you wait 30 seconds, a minute, boom, starts right up. I literally helped a full-on giant Ram 4x4 monster truck who was dead up there in the woods. And I had this exact one. Went up, hooked it up, boom. So they're amazing. So this weighs 1 pound, 6 ounces. Okay, so it's heavy. And what I'm trying to say is, something like this weighs 7.8 ounces. So I want all this power, and I know this has the power because one time I cheated. Okay, because the one thing you never do with these is ever, ever, ever use it to charge devices like your phone. Well, I was up there filming, and I was up for like 7 days, and after 3 days, I exhausted all of my things that I could recharge with. I had a small little Jackery and 10 of these things, and I needed to film more. So I violated the golden rule, because you never touch this, because what you need it for is this. So if you use all the juice up, you're not going to be able to jump, and so you just screwed yourself. But I did, and this thing, 3 more days I got out of it, and it still had power in it. I can't remember if it got down to like 15% or something. So I felt confident that I could still jump something, hopefully. So the experiment has been trying to see how many times I can get a full charge on an iPhone out of this. But the issue is that you have to use your phone up, okay, down to 0. Never 0, but 1%, 2%. And then charge it up. You have to document everything. So that way we know. For example, you could say, okay, out of this one, I got 15 full charges on my iPhone. And out of this little one, I got 3. And so that's the time, and it's just never happened. I'll do it, and then I lose track. So anyway, you see what I'm getting at. This one, 1 pound, 6 ounces, this one was called DB Power. Also looked for them, and they're gone. Well, its little ratings, I don't get into the milliamp and blah, blah, blah. All I know is that this one, I know, lasted me 3 days, and it's way heavier and way bigger than this one that lasts me, 3 charges. But this one, 1 pound, 6 ounces. Then you come to the new one that I just got, 15 ounces. So this is just under 1 pound. So you can see that the technology is advancing. And what I want is all the power of these 2 monsties, and I want it to weigh like, 2 ounces and be this big. And it's exciting because things are changing. Technology every day is, radically changing. So that's it. I just wanted to share. I'm always testing things behind the scenes, because once you get up there, you can do a test up there. There's no problem. And you do need to test in a real world environment. But behind the scenes, this is the sickness. This is the obsession. Always testing things. And the other thing is what I was saying about the weight. If you look on all my products, everything is weighed because the weight is crucial, right? Now, if you're talking about just day to day and you have conveyance, so you've got your truck and you can load that up with 1,000 pounds worth of stuff and you're just car camping or you're in a truck, doesn't really matter. It's unlimited. But when you start getting into the bug out scenario or whatever you want to call it, that final kit that you have on you is everything, right? And I'm 6 foot tall, I weigh 180 pounds. My kit, I try and keep it max at like 35 pounds. But what you'll see is people load up their kit with everything you need, right? And it's 100 pounds. Well, the whole thing is you're not going to get very far if something really happened and you had to. Let's say even that you're driving, something happened, your car breaks down, okay? And you've got to get from the car broke down to here. There's no one's coming to help you, but you've got your little kit in the back. Well, if that kit weighs 120 pounds, it's going to be rough, right? It's going to be tough. And that's if you're just walking on a flat road. So then think that you're in this bug out situation up in the woods. Someone's trying to get you and you're with your family and you guys are trying to get through and everyone's got 100 pounds on and the kids are falling over and you're passing that. I mean, it's not going to happen unless you're a super athlete. Obviously, if you train for it and you train with rucks, or maybe you are in the military or something, that's a whole different story, okay? Those people that are in the military, they're training to have the 100 pounds because they've got, body armor, they've got their weapon system, they've got ammo, they're carrying specialized radios and such. So obviously that's different. I'm talking just, you and me in the normal world. So getting back to the weight, everything's weighed because at the end of the day, it really matters, okay? Because if I can get the same amount of charges out of this one, this 1 pound, 6 ounces, and the technology comes and now I can get the same amount, charge my phone 25 times, but now it only weighs 7.8 ounces. Obviously, this is going away because now that's radically lighter. And when I get radically lighter, it means that now I can get something else, which may be food, right? Different kind of cold weather clothing, all kinds of things. So the weighing, it does become obsessive, but at the end of the day, you're going to have that kit. And if you want to be able to move, you want to keep that as light as possible. So everything is about the weight for me. Ultralight is the ultimate. So to weigh things, you just want to grab a simple digital scale. You can get these online for $9.99. You want one that's a flat like this. And then you want one that's a hanger like this. These digital fish scales, I believe is what they're called. So you simply turn it on, select the unit you want, and you're gonna either hang it on something. You can set up a hook system in your garage. And then what I do is I just take a plastic bag. I put the item in it that I want to weigh because it's too big and awkward to go on this little, flat scale. And then you just hang it. And as it, pulls down, it's going to give you a weight. Same thing, $9.99. Then you're going to want to grab a Sharpie, one in black, okay, permanent marker. And then you're going to want a Sharpie. These are called just paint markers. So this is just a white paint marker. And that's how you can see that I get all these weights on things. So it may sound insane, but I'm telling you, if you're into this stuff and you've been into it, there's a big difference between going up there and being uncomfortable and not being able to move and being able to fly, because I guarantee you the smoother you are, the better off it's going to be. Here's something that I wanted to show you. This is something that's so exciting to me. The new batteries, you can get them all with charging ports in them, okay? So you can see it right there. And it's a little micro USB. The new ones are coming with that new USB-C, which is great because, everything's getting to be the same cable now. But this has been a fantasy of mine. If I could just recharge my batteries, because up until now, you've also got to bring one set at least of normal batteries, alkalines or lithium, because I need to recharge this, right? And I'm going to use something like this or this or this, but eventually this and this and this, these power banks are going to die. So then we need to charge those power banks. And so for that, you're going to have solar, okay? And I was able to go one time for about 9 months living completely off grid using solar. But where I was in the desert and it was unlimited. So you're talking solar to power your fridge, heat, AC, everything you can imagine, unlimited. Okay, but now here's the reality. I'm in Oregon, and for a long time of the year, it is cloudy and raining. So this is done. It doesn't work. It does nothing for you. Or you're up in the forest, and to be able to use this, you have to have a clear shot of the sky. And up here in the forest, the canopy's so thick, that ain't happening. And if you can find it, then you got to go out there every 15 minutes and keep moving it, chasing the sun, right? So this is a beautiful new thing, right? I pre-charge everything. But if I can't count on solar to power this backup so I can power this, what do I do? Well, you've still got to be carrying traditional battery sources. And when I talk about weighing everything, I'll give you an example. Some stuff I'm going through right now because the summer's coming. I'm going to be teaching some classes. So here's my bug net. And if you can see it on there, I don't know if you can pick it up in the light, but 7.5 ounces. Okay, so I recommend, since you're going to be keeping your gear and using it and abusing it, it doesn't matter if you ruin it, right? I know when you first get into this stuff, especially, you want to keep it pristine. Maybe you're going to resell it. That's the only reason that you would not do these markings. But if you're really into it and you like the piece of kit and you've played with it, if you decide you're going to keep it, it's going to become yours permanently on the outside, because you're going to see, okay, 7.5 ounces. Okay. This is a little Mylar bivy that I was testing out. 4.8 ounces. See that on there? Here's a canteen kit carrier. It's a little like survival kit. See these? It's just the U.S. military Molly 2 canteen carrier. And this just has a plastic military canteen with an NBC top on it. And then when I'm at Goodwill, any bag that I find, you know, like a shoulder bag, I take the shoulder straps, because then you can put it on here. You attach this or stick this in your bag. And then if you want to take off and do a little recon or scout around, whatever, you're leaving your base camp, this is a great way that you can take water in a little miniature survival kit and just strap this over yourself like a haversack. So yeah, anytime you're at Goodwill, I'm talking about the Goodwill bins. I don't know if you guys have those where you live, but it's just a giant warehouse and they bring bins out and you pay by the pound. Everything's like, now it's $2.50 a pound. So you just put it all in there. And if you do, hey, if you go over 20 pounds, everything's half price. There's my tip for Goodwill bins. Anyway, so I grab these whenever I can and I build these little kits. You know, little spoon in the back. But to get back to the point, if you look on the bottom, you can see it says 4 pounds. So that's with this loaded full with water and all the little accessories. It comes in at 4 pounds. Let's see what else. These are little fishing. You know what these are? I'm trying to remember the exact name of them. Basically, the way this works, they're auto fishing. So that way you can set these up and then walk away. And while you're gone, these are going to be doing the fishing, okay? You string it up to a tree, basically. You have your hook and your bait, whatever, and it sits there. The fish comes and it grabs them. So they say the rule is you got to put out 10 of these to get 1 fish, right? In trapping, that's the rule I was taught. For every 10 you put out, it's not a guarantee, but you might get 1. Anyway, 2 ounces, you can see there. So the point of all this is that, say I'm putting together a kit, and I go, okay, my goal weight for this kit is going to be 30 pounds. So I go, all right, let's begin. Okay, so my bug net, 7.5 ounces, and I literally write it all down. 7.5, I'm gonna need power, 15 ounces. Okay, this guy 4.8 is going with the full canteen at 4, so that's bringing me at 4.5. Then I'm gonna add this, and then I go, oh, now wait, actually, I've got this other version of this bug net. It's not as big and not the one that I love, but instead of weighing 7.5 ounces, which is 16 ounces a pound, this is almost half a pound, right? I go, I don't really need this one for where I'm going, what I'm doing. I could just bring I've got one that just goes here that weighs not even 1 ounce. So that's the game you start playing, right? You go, okay, I want to bring this food, but let me think. Do I really need 2 of these? Am I going to be anywhere where I could do some emergency? Because that's all this is. It's emergency, fishing. Am I going to be? There's not even any water. Wait, there's no body of water. Okay, so there's 4 ounces I just saved, 2 ounces each. That's gone. And then I go, all right. Now, what's the weather going to be like? It's going to be completely raining, cloudy, guaranteed. It's Oregon. That's what the report is. So this weighs 1 pound. This is my solar. So it's not coming because I know that it will be of no use to me. Literally. It's just weight. So I go, okay, I got rid of that. I got it. And you're playing the shuffling game. And that's it. So you can see the sickness that it is. But you really got to think about all this stuff, right? Because if anything, God forbid, ever really did happen, I'm talking like, war zone. Okay. Well, it doesn't even have to be that, because what I'm saying is, you look at all these people, these natural disasters. They happen, unfortunately, once a year. You've got hundreds of thousands of people that instantly there's no power. And the minute that power is gone for the way we live, you got nothing. Most importantly, communication, right? It's all about communication. So your phone or your radio, this is your lifeline in our modern world. So you saw all those poor people when those floods hit. Well, what was the first thing that you needed? People were sending thousands and thousands of generators, okay? And then gasoline to power those generators. Then Starlink, right? Because you have a direct connection so you can communicate. Communication means rescue, help, people are hurt, food, water, shelter, all these things. It's all about communication. It's probably the most important tool you've got. So that's just some of the background of what I've been up to and what I'm doing in the background when you don't see me. Ciao.